Hello, beautiful people. It's Sinderfam. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're back again with another video, and this is from whatever podcast. We're gonna be checking this together. Let's check it out.
Right, but you said, well, when it comes to the draft, men are physically stronger, so it should be men
Yeah.
and not women. Well, so then should they then be barred from volunteering if they're not as capable? Because that's what you're saying, right? Women aren't as capable.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Well, if they're just as capable, why can't we draft them for military service?
Yeah, honestly, they aren't.
Wait,
We're talking about physical strength. Like, I think that's
well, let's
not an argument.
you could draft women. I mean, I'm frankly in favor they can go to the front line, but you can draft women and they can perform auxiliary sort of jobs in the military. The military needs paper pushers. There's a bunch of stuff that they can do in the military that doesn't necessarily involve.
Correct. To further this point, for you, Brian, it's something around 1% to 2% of actual military personnel, I believe, who actually fight in any sort of combat situation.
Right.
And that's during wartime even. It's a very low percentage of people who actually fight in combat, with everybody else being in a position of support.
Yeah, a lot of support roles. So
Yeah, so that's kind of what I meant by equal value. So women can be in a support role, and it's still just as valuable as.
what,
It's not as. It's not.
I
just
don't know
as
if that's as
valuable.
valuable. I don't know if that's as
In fact,
valuable.
the military itself doesn't think it's just as valuable, which is why they give different ribbons and different medals and different accommodations for people who are in different jobs. They don't even consider them to have the same value. So, for instance, you're not going to get a combat medal if you weren't in combat, for instance. That's how that would work. So even the military does not scale these equally and consider some to have more merit than others, some to have more dangerous jobs than others.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm talking about value more in terms of gender, generally.
Yeah, I don't understand, though, how that would equate. What would the value be? Women can't be deployed to combat. They would be a liability, right?
I don't think there would be a liability.
Before now, I don't think it was an issue with women being in the military or whatever, because women knew their places and they were gonna stay there up until feminists started speaking in their ear. And you want to know one thing is, or one thing that is wrong, or something that is wrong is the fact that many women don't like to live in reality. They prefer to live in delusion, just as some of them base off their a character on in the movies or what they see in the movie, just because they see that okay, women in the movies have this very great action story or whatever. In the military they act really good, so they think that it's always going to be the same, or it's also going to be the same in real life or in reality, when reality and delusion is not the same. We cannot be basing off things because we saw in the movie character women are good in this area or good in this sector, then you think it's going to be okay to fit women in just because you saw in the movie, or because the movie is telling you something else. That's a movie, and that is the character. It is not real. But obviously, lots of the women don't even know, like, they don't like to live in reality. So some of them don't even know what they're saying, because somebody is saying something, so they believe and they just want to say, oh, because this person is saying this and the person is talking about this, in the sense that the person maybe be a feminist and the person is talking about this and talking about equality, then oh, let's move with it. I think that is a good idea. Some of them don't even think before they even speak, because make it make sense. How do you, we're talking about the military, it's no joke, really.
The way
You don't think so? So let me let's pretend for a second. Let us just do a quick mental exercise. There's a tactic which was used often in the Vietnam War, where what would happen is a Vietnamese sniper would purposely wound an American GI in the middle of a field in order to make the other GIs have to go out to rescue them, presenting additional targets for them, that sniper, to shoot. It was a very effective tactic. It's been used in many wartime situations. if you were the enemy and women were on the opposite side in a combat role, would you not stop them and make them scream as loud as possible so that then their side would come out to rescue them?
Andrew, I got to interrupt you really quick.
Just saying, like, if I was in charge of an army and I was facing off against another army that had women in combat, my number one goal would be to capture and then do horrible things to those women and make it as public as possible to demoralize the opposition. Don't you think that that would be a highly effective tactic?
It would.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to interrupt.
We were talking about the draft, so you want to go...
Okay, we can say this is an exception. I'm not trying to argue all for one side.
Look, I think we got to draft women, send them to the... In fact, what would be equity is for the next millennia, women fight the wars. That's equity, right? Would that be equity, Andrew? That's equity?
Yeah, I think so. If you consider social justice to be a priority,
It is social
and
justice.
the right of wrongs which need to be addressed, then I would say that men, being the primary arbiters of those who have fought all of the wars of the 20th century, would need to be able to stay at home while women went and fought all the wars. I think that that's fair. That seems very equitable.
Drizzle.
That way we had a box that was big enough for us to see over the fence and all.
Drizzle. I would, you know what? I would pay good money to see that.
Now, I mean, we would never win any ever again,
No,
but
we
it
will
would still be fun
gossip,
to
we will
watch,
make
right?
YouTube episodes out of it, we will trash the other party's outfit.
We would be great
will,
nurses.
Yeah, no.
Would-
we will
would-
not do good if you have to fight other women, come on.
No, I'm
Wait.
saying we would be great nurses.
up.
Like
Yeah,
nurses,
nurses,
if
yeah,
in the war, we would be great nurses
They did
and
that,
doctors.
right? They did that. The women were
Could
nurses.
it be like...
Usually contracted as civilians.
You want to know what's most interesting in this is the fact that if we lay, or if there are rules where it is being laid to say, okay, women, or it should be compulsory for women to join the military and for the women to also be in the battlefield and all of that. It's yes, these exact same women complaining to say, oh, it is not fair, it is not equal. Why are they treated this way? Men are not treated this way. They want this. So they want the treatment when it's beneficial to them, when it's only better for them, but not because they want to do the job. They just like the sound of the idea, because obviously lots of them don't even think of the possibility of what might happen. Think about the other people, or the people who go to the who join military. Think about the possible things that could happen. Then talk about combat, talk about the practices and all of that, talk about the recruitment, talk about things. How many women fit those criteria? How many women would fit it if they say, okay, they should bring a certain amount of women to join it? I bet you we would have zero if women were given the choice to say, oh, okay, let X amount of women join the military. I bet you we would not get that number. Forget all these things we hear these women come talk about on social media or on podcasts or whatever, talk about they would want to see women representative. Really, if there is a law that is passed, or there is a recruitment that is passed, or we need X amount of women, I bet you would have zero women there, because now they know that it is getting real. And they don't like it reality. They don't like it when it's getting real. They love the fantasy of it, the idea of it.
Yo, Rat, thank you for the gifted 10 subs. Do you think women should be drafted?
I wouldn't prefer that, but yeah.
So yes,
Yes.
you're in favor of the draft for women.
Sure.
I don't know if you answered yes. Yes, feminist over here in favor of the women being drafted.
Why are y'all doing that to us?
I'm with you guys. Draft them up, get them drafted.
Brian, I gotta ask you a question though, right? Honest question.
Yeah.
If you were, let's just say that you were like some foreign country who had a draft implemented and you got drafted. And during your briefing, they went, okay, the Americans are sending over their all-female military to deal with us. Would you ever stop laughing? I mean, would you just look at your CO and be like, Are you fucking serious? Like, what? If they showed up on the battlefield, do you even think you could fight through the waves of like gut-bending laughter? Do you even think it's possible?
Well, we might be able to seduce the other side into
You would just
surrendering.
strip in the middle of the field. You would just strip.
That'll teach him. That'll
You're
teach
like,
him.
oh my God, he's so cute. Let me undress. Oh my God.
Oh, hey, enemy army, we're here to have lots of sex with you. Boy, look,
She will take
won
one
that
for the
war.
whole team. She will do the whole
No,
team.
they would wave the white flag right there.
Darling, you will wave your string, or how you call it here.
They would just bang the hell out of all of you and then continue to fight the war again and just win by default, right? Because that's it. They've just won. It's like an instant win.
Where can I
for
sign?
Like, oh, we don't even have to conquer you and take your women. You're just going to send them over here.
But for the ladies that said yes, that y'all do think that women should be drafted,
Yeah.
do y'all think that that's actually like a smart decision for our, like the country?
I think it's great.
If women want to be equal pay, equal
No,
hours,
I
equal thing,
get-
you have to be drafted.
I get
In the
that.
Netherlands,
I get
you
that
get drafted
you
as
being,
women. So
y'all
yeah.
being
Draft 'em
consistent.
up.
But do y'all really think that like that is the actual smart move to win a war?
Absolutely not.
Do you see the mindset? So to them, they can go to the war. That's women go to the war. So if women are being drafted, so they would seduce. Look, they made it sound so funny, but it's not funny because I mean this is real life. We're talking about real things happening. And the fact that we even sit to even discuss this is what is not even making sense because how did you even start to even think of this to send women, let's say for the possible case of what Andrew just said, sending all women or drafting all women to war and then men are there to fight. Like the men would even think it was a joke. And you know, some of the men, when they know that, okay, it is real, they would think maybe the women are being sent as disguise. And do you think in a full war or when war is happening, the men would just sit and be waiting to want to defend women? No, they don't have that time. What they're there for is to win the war. But no, these women think, or these women are saying, or somebody yeah is saying, oh, they're gonna seduce the man and talk about, or seduce the man and talk about, oh, I like you, you look good and all of that. That wasn't, or this, that's not the first time most of the men are hearing about that. So do you think that's gonna move them, or do you think that's gonna be a tactic to use it as a weapon against them? No, no, they're in the middle of the freaking battlefield. Do you think they have the time to be looking for a woman or looking at the woman or how cute she is and all of that? Nah. Even if they will, they're gonna do something else and say, "Oh, let them send them a message and all of that." These people are not even ready for what is about to happen. But obviously, lots of those women don't even think before they respond. But seriously, sending women to war doesn't really make sense. But obviously, these women called for it and they want equality. So let them have a taste of what equality is because obviously, men have been the ones doing the job. So, I mean, if we're, if women are fighting for equality, then they get a taste of equality. Let them also be freaking drafted to the war or to the battlefield. Let them have a taste of what it is. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Obviously, they're trying to save the country, right? So, I mean, let them do the exact same job as men do because, I mean, to them, they think it is easy and men are doing the job effortlessly. So, women too can also do it effortlessly. So, I don't think it's an issue. It's going to be an issue for women to be drafted there. Let them go there and face what reality is and live or in delusion or sit somewhere and make complaints like they are not being treated fairly.
But equity.
I think we did it as women.
Equality.
I think it's our fault. We wanted to have the same thing as a man. So now you have to face your consequences. Get
No,
your shit.
and I get that, but again,
In the Netherlands, it's normal. You
like,
get
do
out.
you genuinely think that the best way to protect our country is to draft women or have it mandatory?
Yes.
That's a lie.
You just want to see women fight.
I'm not
Well,
trying to
we have a
fight.
track record for what, like the last 40 years of losing basically every war we engage in anyway. I mean, maybe we just need to switch it up.
We got to
and send the
switch
women.
things up. Try something new.
I'm all for it. In the Netherlands, it's normal.
Never expect that tactic. Not in a million years.
I
The
think-
all-female fighting force. No enemy would ever expect such a tactic.
Absolutely, I'm for it. I mean, exactly what Brian and Andrew said. I mean, most likely, since men have been losing the war, then let women go win the battles and win the war. I think that makes sense. So women get the trophy, get the award, and all of that. So women see that, oh yeah, they can also do this, and they won the war. So I mean, I think it's gonna be the best for the country. I mean, if America decides they want to send women to war or send women to go to war or fight their battles instead, I don't think that's a bad idea. I think that will save that would be a good idea. Or what do you think? Or that would be a good thing. Or what do you think? Because obviously these women are pushing and fighting for equality. They are the ones that are pushing and saying, oh, they want to be equal as men, they want to be paid the exact same as men, but forgetting that, oh, they are the ones that are even enjoying, they cannot even do half of what men do, but obviously they say they want competition, right? So now let them get it. Because I bet you, if it were men that were complaining, talking about this, or talking about how they want equality or they want fair treatment as women, I bet you the women will be the ones complaining to say, "Oh, men, oh, but I mean, you're capable to do the job. Let us as women s- stay where we are." You hear someone say, "Allow me to be taken care of." They will make it seem like, oh, the men are complaining, the men are lazy and all of that, but now the women are complaining, but the women are being given a handed trophy for complaining or for wanting what is not even possible. Make it make sense. So obviously, if America have decided that, yeah, they want to send women to war to help them fight their battles, I don't think it's going to be a bad idea. That's even fair game. Is a win-win situation, right? They fight the war, they win, then obviously more women get recruited into war and they win more battles, and so goes on, and so the list goes on. It saves a lot of men from dying in the war, and also gives the women a win situation whereby they think that what a man can do, a woman can do better. So I mean, it's fair, right? Isn't that it? Let me know what you think about this. And since the women love the idea of wanting equality, I think they should get a bit of taste of what equality looks like. But let me know what you think about this so far. I'm sure tons of people have interesting things to share. I would really love to share that. You can share the useful information you think might be really helpful. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and all of that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.